Once again, it is the Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide podcast. This is Kirk.
And I'm Jacob. And today we watched Sick Days and Spelling Bee. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was really solid.
Yeah, it was a solid couplet.
Yeah, it was.
Better than the last episode, I would say.
I think so, yeah. Also, I was a little bit thrown just off the bat. I was talking about it a little bit with Kirk beforehand, that Spelling Bee was so early on in the show's history, just because I never had any spelling bees growing up.
See, I always realized and recognized it as being a thing. I was in one. I know I did it at one point. I didn't get very far.
Damn.
I didn't get past the first level.
Fuck. Did you? So you only got one word? Or how'd that work?
No, I don't remember how many words I got, but I did move on to the next tier of it goes probably school, county, state, district, or whatever.
Gotcha.
So, you know what I mean? I don't know how they divide it. It was in New York though.
Maybe it's more of a northern and midwestern thing. I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know. We didn't.
I don't know.
We didn't do a geography bee though, which I know you did.
Yeah, I did do a geography bee. I think I've talked about it probably on the Drake and Josh pod, but yeah, I did a geography bee, and I came in second place at my school, and then the kid who beat me went on to win the nationals. So
I didn't know you came in second.
Yeah, I came in second.
That's why it stings.
Yeah, that's why it stings so hard. It's because I got second place to the kid who won nationals. So because at the time I definitely prided myself on my geography knowledge. I do love geography. You know.
Yeah, we used to just look at the map in high school and just be like...
Yeah, we did. My world map.
Look at it.
We'd pull it out of the desk. We'd just unfold it and start pointing to stuff.
We'd be like, it'd be cool to go there. Don't want to go there, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we would X out. All right, I don't want to get into we would X out different places. But, yeah, so what are you drinking today, Kirk?
So I went by Swamp Head Brewery here in Gainesville right before we started recording. Picked up a couple of their new releases.
Nice.
So while we were watching the episode, I was drinking the Dragon Jelly Fruited Berliner style Weiss with dragon fruit, passion fruit, and papaya.
Ooh.
And that was good. That was a good sour.
Tasty.
6.5 ABV. Yeah. And now I'm on to the Wicked Heifer, which is a Northeast style IPA. It's got a little manatee on there. This is 7.5 ABV, and it says Mosaic Laurel and Ella. Those must be the types of hops that are in it. I thought it was supposed to say floral, but it says laurel.
Huh. What the hell's laurel?
I don't know.
You think it's a misprint?
Pretty good too. No, I think it's a type of hops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm drinking the Luau brew from Terrapin Beer Co. in Athens, Georgia. It's got passion fruit, orange, and guava. It's an IPA. It is. It's very good. It's a nice IPA. It's not incredibly hoppy, like you find in a lot of
fruity IPA.
Yeah, it's very very fruity. It's definitely easy to drink. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, I've had that one. They have it at Publix.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Across the state, apparently.
Yeah. I hadn't tried it before. I saw it and I liked the packaging, and I was like, I'll go for that. A fruity IPA?
Yeah, I've bought it before and enjoyed it. It's not too expensive and stuff.
Mm-mm.
So we start out with Sick Days.
Yes.
This is another episode where the title matches the actual flow of the episode.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I have 2 full pages of notes. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, I have 2 pages of notes on this episode, and then I have...
There was a lot. Oh, you have 2 just...
1.5. Yeah, well, because the way I write notes is kind of I'll skip a line sometimes, or a lot of times. So
gotcha.
Because I want it to be clear when I'm looking at it,
Yeah, mine is very hard to read. Maybe I should start doing that. Yeah. But yeah, so it starts off with Ned giving the 2 type of sicknesses that you can get, and it is the really sick, or like the actually sick people, and the fake sick, or the fake it.
Yeah. Did you ever fake being sick?
Yes. but not once I was already at school. When I was at home,
ballsy.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it when I was already at school. If I'm already at school, I'm already at school. What are you gonna, I mean, the nurse isn't gonna fucking believe you. Like,
unless you have confidence in yourself as an actor.
That's true. If you have so much control over your body as an actor that you can adjust your temperature at will.
You gotta just make yourself throw up.
Well, that's true. That's the easiest way to do it. But no, I did it.
I wonder if the thespians were good at that.
I don't think that's a thespian trick, making yourself throw up. I think that's a different type of trick. But yeah, I would stay home sometimes when I wasn't. It was usually, though, when I was like a little bit sick. Like, not enough to where I would really have to stay home, but I just didn't fucking want to go to school. And then I would get
sorry.
And then I would just hang out at home and like play some video games and just like watch TV, you know?
Was that N64 at that time?
Maybe. It was probably more along the lines of the GameCube and PS2 era.
Oh yeah.
A little bit later. I feel like when I was playing on the N64 a lot, it was when I was probably too young to really have that like wherewithal to be like, let's fucking not go to school.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think I ever did it. I would have, I've always had like stomach problems and stuff, so sometimes I would just be mostly just actually.
See, I didn't have that issue. I've never really had whenever I was sick, it was never a stomach bug or anything. It was always just like a normal cold. Sometimes a fever. But never. It was very rarely a stomach thing. My sister would get stomach sicknesses a lot. Yeah. Don't know what the reasoning is.
When he said, I don't know. When he was saying, I mean, it shows the school infirmary, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
And it's like when you see the pictures of China now with the people with the hospitals.
I wrote down that it looks like a hostel because it's just like there's just like two beds, like cots, and like people are just like sleeping on them, and it was just like 6 people
strewn across them.
Yeah, it was like packed to the brim. I guess this is very this is like perfect timing with the coronavirus thing, the sickness episode,
pertinent episode.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this goes out in time to where. Well, actually, no. Hopefully the virus goes away. Never mind.
Hopefully this goes out before everyone's dead.
Yeah, yes, hopefully.
Yeah, but so the fake sick, we see Mose. She this is multiple times throughout the episode. I think she goes up to Nurse Hunsucker and tries to be like, "I'm sick," and Nurse Hunsucker calls her the fuck out on her bullshit.
She calls the bluff. Which, when you think about it, where did like her detection of sickness come from? Because in the previous episodes, when she's come up. And Cooke was like, right. I don't feel good. I need to use the bathroom. She was just like, fucking, yeah, I guess you're sick. Go use my special bathroom.
Well, she was like, you can use the bathroom, but you're not going home, son. I'm not writing you a note.
Well, we don't know that, you know. She just believed him straight away that he was sick enough to use her special bathroom. Like, she should have been like, oh, you're not sick. You're getting kicked out, you know?
Maybe she knows that sometimes people get sick because, like, they're eating the school lunch food.
And this was pre-Michelle Obama lunch food.
Oh, yeah. So they're eating sloppy joes. They're eating taco. Like,
it's only
taco
sloppy
salads.
joes. It's sloppy Joe week. We're eating that all week.
They're eating the chocolate milk that's been there too long.
And you have the pouch of juice. You know what I'm talking about? Where the fucking like plastic
It's
pouch.
A bag.
Yeah,
it's
the
an
bag.
actual bag.
The bag of juice.
That you stab with a thing.
With a straw. That was such a bizarre thing, wasn't it?
You gotta suck the juice out of it before. You can't set it down because it'll just leak out, right?
I don't remember there being a lot of leakage, which I don't know where the science is behind that. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't drink a lot of those, but I know what you're talking about.
No, I rarely did. Whenever I got a drink, because I didn't really start getting school lunches until high school. In middle school, I always brought my lunch, but in high school, I started buying lunch because I would just buy like fries. But I would always
the opposite.
I would always get chocolate milk. I didn't get any of the juices. Chocolate milk. All the way.
That's for sure sounds like the way to go. I would always bring lunch in high school, but like in elementary school, middle school, a lot of times would buy it.
I don't remember that. Did we have lunches together in high school?
Actually, no. A lot of times
We were
we
always
didn't have the
cursed
same
against
lunches. Yeah, because they would have multiple lunches.
it. Yeah, they had the 2 lunches. There was just 2, right? It was lunch A and B.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah, I always had lunch with Ked, it seemed. Just Ked. Didn't you have a lunch? You had a lunch with Yash and Lucas, right? Wasn't or was it Ross?
It was different depending on the year, but I mean, it was always a ragtag, interesting, different crew than like I hung out with any other time.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a very specific crew.
Yeah, the lunch crew, ragtag. I feel like that happens a lot with people when they're at lunch. If there's multiple lunches, you're not going to always end up with your core group of friends. Sometimes you're going to have to go with...
It's not crew A, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, sometimes you're going to have to go with, like, auxiliary teams and start making,
crew
like...
D.
It's still always a good time, though. There's no hate against those people at all.
It was the best time of the day.
They just happen to not be the people that you see most often. But,
right.
Yeah, so let's talk about things people actually know about. So I put that there's a very fake background when they walk into the school, which we did pause and go back for.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically looked like a blown up photo of an outdoors suburban area, but it just really caught my eye because it didn't blend at all. It didn't look like it was real in the slightest. It just really caught me off guard.
Yeah. You have to assume that this was a set.
Oh, for sure, a soundstage. Soundstage, 100%.
Good set.
But I think there are probably ways and technologies that you could make it look better. Maybe not then. But I think that a part of the charm of this show also was to make things look kind of shit,
Yeah, I mean,
we'll get into effects.
This. We'll get into this later. There's some awesome stuff.
Yeah, there are some. I was kind of alluding to it, but yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah, it's like right. It's part of the. I can't. It's not a charm. I mean, I guess it is a charm, but it's not like they're trying to make it seem like it's like old school or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're trying to make it look like it was made by amateurs or what. But
I don't think that's the case. I don't think they were trying to go with amateurs. I just think it was kind of random, and they just thought it was funny.
It is funny. So Moe's her arc is that she's trying to avoid giving a speech the whole episode. So the entire episode she's trying to catch sickness.
Yes.
And so she does this various different ways throughout the episode. From everyone in the school is sick. Gordy announces that there's a flu epidemic. So it's pretty serious. And everyone exhibiting flu symptoms has to be sent home. That's what he says. That doesn't happen.
No. They continually show throughout the episode that people are, in fact, staying at school.
Well, it's not like they're busing them home. If your parents, like, working, like,
Well, they might. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. In reality, yeah, you'd have to get picked up. But maybe this is a situation, I mean, you can clearly see it's gotten to the point where it's a literal epidemic. Maybe they are going to bus them home.
It's like 28 days later.
It's a zombie epidemic. They even do a zombie shot later on.
Yeah, it's like a POV shot where people are coming at them just looking just like death.
Yeah, they have like heavy makeup on their eyes and shit, and people are like walking like zombies. It's pretty dope, honestly.
Yeah, but right before Gordy makes that announcement, we find out, Cooke is basically denying that he has the flu. Because he has a perfect attendance record that he's trying to preserve.
Yeah.
And he has it like goes back to like preschool? Is that what he said?
I don't remember what he actually said.
Like that?
But it did remind me of Josh in Drake and Josh, because he also has a perfect attendance award.
That's true.
Yeah, he has the little trophy.
He's wearing a welding mask.
Yeah.
To sneeze into.
Well, it's not a welding mask, right? Because it's just thin plastic.
You're right. What would you call that?
I just wrote down sneeze guard.
Yeah. It's just a glass shield that he's covering and he's sneezing into, and he's sneezing green stuff.
Yeah. It is pretty gross. You could see the speckles come out.
He pulls it out. I think they're in home ec class with Mr. Monroe, and he comes in riding that BMX bike, and he's like, "My buddy, I guess Matt Hoffman is coming." And you said you knew who Matt Hoffman was. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, Matt Hoffman was definitely a popular BMX rider back in the day. I remembered him. I knew who he was as a kid. I don't know what he's up to now. I don't follow BMX, so.
True, I don't know. If he's anything like Tony Hawk, he's still out there doing stuff.
He was essentially the Tony Hawk of BMX, you know.
But didn't Tony Hawk do BMX too a little bit?
I have no idea. Did he? I mean, it's definitely
he's mostly
possible.
known for skateboarding.
Yeah, he's a skateboarder.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That whole world is. I was never into it really.
I was fairly into it.
You owned a skateboard
when I was a kid. Yeah, I did own a skateboard. I had a skateboard from Westside Skate Shop, not sponsored, and also I had a longboard that my dad found at a job site, and he brought it home.
Both got stolen, right, out of your front.
The longboard got stolen. I don't know what happened to the skateboard. Maybe that got stolen too, but the longboard for sure did. Which is kind of fucked.
Hoodlums.
They didn't take
Harlem.
They didn't take the scooters though. So.
And those are what you'd want.
And that's what I preferred. So honestly, good riddance. They took the garbage.
Scooter all day long. That's what I rode. That's why I was like, are there BMX scooterers?
Not famous. Definitely not famous. But yeah, I knew a lot of those guys also because I used to play the Tony Hawk games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater and stuff like that.
Yeah. I never owned any of those, but I remember playing them at your house.
They're very fun.
So Ned basically has a fantasy about meeting Matt Hoffman, and he's like, oh shit, I got to make it to whatever period it is. I don't even know which one it is, but because he was clearly in Mr. Monroe's class already, so.
Yeah.
What is he going to have it again?
I'm not 100% sure on the timeline of this episode.
How does that work?
I don't know. Because also, with actually thinking about it, when they show the transition of the... I forget what it is. I think it's Ned in the bubble later. Spoiler. Mm-hmm. He gets in a bubble. But during the transition periods between his classes, they show Xing off the classes. And he gets to his last class. But then there's still more stuff afterwards. But they're not going home.
What?
Like, I don't understand what the timeline is.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because
I'll take your word for it.
They kept cutting to like a picture of his schedule essentially, and it had the times on it, and they kept Xing them out and stuff like that. And it was already at like 3 something o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh well, yeah, because middle school's fucked. It goes so late.
Well, yeah, my middle school went to like 4 something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Late.
Insane.
Your whole day's shot.
It's fucked. High school, you start real early. I'll give you that, but it's better. First class started at like 7:05.
I think they did it on purpose because they know that kids, a lot of kids, they gotta go to work afterwards. You know.
That's true.
But in middle school, it's illegal to work. So.
Yeah, but they're sharing buses, right? At least in Florida, they're using the same buses.
Yes. So all the schools have to be spaced out. That's a big reason as well.
Yeah. But so like there's shots of Ned's fantasy where he's riding on the back of Matt Hoffman. Well, and some of the shots are actually Ned like piggybacking on the bike with him. And then some of the shots it's a dummy.
Yeah.
And the dummy has very limp legs.
Extremely.
And they're just flaming
they're
around.
flying everywhere.
And that's the effect that we were alluding to earlier.
Yeah. Which it reminded me of something that like we would have done. Like it was very silly.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see where
we find out Cooke is a certified computer genius. That's what he says, and so he can't spread any viruses of any kind. Apparently,
even biological, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But also we find out that Ned has a slight fever, a very slight fever.
So Nurse Hunsucker comes around. She's coming around with the thermometer.
Yeah.
She clocks Backpack Kid. She clocks him at a fucking 101.2 fever, and he's just walking around. He's looking fine. He's not sweating. He's not chilling. He's not shivering.
No, he looked a little bit. He looked a little bit on edge. Like he didn't look like he was feeling great.
It wasn't on his A game.
But I think the makeup department could have done a little bit better job on him.
Yeah.
You know, to really sell it.
Mm-hmm. And we find out also that the fever has she says a 3-hour incubation period, which is short as shit.
Yes.
And so exact.
It is very exact. She's really got this flu down to a science, to an exact science. Also, I have written down, because Ned starts giving tips on, like, if you do have to go home, he says, avoid falling behind. So you want good notes, not bad ones. And he shows 2 pictures of notes. One that is just purely people doing doodles, and then the other one is actual notes. And then he said, or videotape it, which was interesting, especially for the time.
Yeah. Well, we see a kid with a little camcorder just filming the lecture.
I think that's the same AV kid as the previous episode, right?
That would make sense. I don't remember what the AV kid looked like exactly.
You know, small child.
He was small. He was definitely small. And it was nice, it was a nice early 2000s camcorder.
But it's
probably
just
not cheap.
No, definitely not cheap. Back then, I think that shit would have been like a clean $400.
You think that recorded on like a mini DV, like CD little thing, or like a cassette?
I'm not actually sure. From I didn't get a good enough look at it to know if it was mini CD or cassette. You know,
it was one or the other though.
But I will say that was very early for like thinking about recording like a lecture. Especially one as useless as a middle school lecture. You could miss 100 of them and you'd be fine.
Listen, man. That shit's advanced. You know, it was freaking what's his name? What's the science teacher's goddamn name? Shit.
Mr. Is it Sweeney?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
That's
I didn't even. I closed my IMDb page, so
I know. I was about to pull it up, and then you nailed it.
Yeah, Sweeney.
But, yeah. So, I know you think like maybe in college, sure, of course.
Yeah, college for sure.
It's like you almost have to ask permission. Like, is it okay if I steal your intellectual property?
Yeah, and he's like, "Fuck no."
You are not to record this lecture.
They're like, if you record it, you're getting fucking kicked out of the college.
I know that there's YouTube.
But my next note is
this episode is probably before YouTube.
Mose kisses Coconut Head.
Mm-hmm.
Which is shocking. I don't think they ever bring it up again.
Yeah, he's got the virus, and she's trying to catch it.
She does. This is while she's trying to do really gross shit to try to get the virus.
Yeah, including, like I said earlier, she was drinking a drink from a guy that's sick. What else does she do?
She uses somebody's chapstick who's sick, which is extremely gross. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's very extreme.
And I also have written down that Gordy doesn't want to clean throw up. So I think this is the first time he says his catchphrase, "I'll let the night guy get it." Yeah, that's he does it in the next one too. This is like his new go-to thing. He's like, the night guy's gonna get it.
Yeah, whoever wrote this episode is like, that's gonna be it.
He's like, I've got it. I've struck genius.
Mm-hmm. And we see Zima continuing to try and come on to Cooke. They have an interaction where they're like, I think he's hiding from Nurse Hunsucker, right? And she pops out, and she's like, we should do this more often.
Yeah. Because they were hanging out for a split second. Cooke obviously didn't give a fuck, but she loved it. Yeah, she comes back later too to also save the day.
Right. So what happens is, Gordy says, "I'll let the night guy get it." Well, he says that to Ned. Ned pulls him into his office. Ned's like, "Listen, man, I gotta not get sick." And Gordy's like, "I can help you." And he pulls out this big, like, the big circular ball, like the clear, weird ball.
Yeah, a bubble.
Thing. There's a name for that. That's like a sport. Zorb? I think it's called Zorb.
What? Really?
Yeah. It's big in like New Zealand and Australia, I'm pretty sure.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he's like, I used to have a hamster, and Ned was like, a hamster this big? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with there.
and then he's like, yeah, they're called Zorbs. You can get one for a couple $100, I guess. It didn't look like the one he had. The ones that you can buy are much more padded. The one he got looked like it was just so clear.
Yeah, they usually have that second layer, right? Like there's
exactly.
there's like in the middle of the two layers, there's like those absorption like shocks, I guess was what you'd call them.
Right. Maybe that's why it's called Zorb.
Right on.
It's also an orb. But Gordy warns him, don't get stuck in the sun, because that's kind of how I lost the hamster.
Does he actually say that? I totally missed that.
He does say that. Yeah, he does.
I totally missed that.
Foreshadows hard.
Damn. Okay, so that makes sense.
Right. So Ned gets in this thing. He's going around. He knocks a bunch of people over like bowling pins.
Yes.
And basically that's when we see Zima. So Nurse Hunsucker gets her sights on Cooke. Cooke is like, oh no. Zima drags him into the girls' bathroom. Not the first time Cooke has been in the girls' bathroom.
He's always in there.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
And she does him up with all her drugs. She drops some shit in his ears. She like gives him some stuff for his nose, I think.
Yeah, and there's like crazy zingers of like
thing to put on his forehead to make it seem like he doesn't have a fever, right?
Yeah, there's the sound effects that make it sound like he's in like a pit stop for NASCAR.
He is a robot.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets out of the bathroom and then she clocks him and he's completely fine. At least according to her temperature device.
Right. So whether or not he's actually healed, I don't think he is.
No, he's definitely not healed. He was still sniffling in the later scenes.
He's able to feign wellness.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good to go, homie. He took the sneeze guard off.
Yeah. And we find out Mose ultimately ends up having to give her speech, which is on Hammurabi's code.
Yes. Also, Ned gets cooked alive in the light. I don't know if we...
That's right. That happens in that in that period as well, and that's what allows him to get Nurse Hunsucker clocks the orb.
Yeah, which is horseshit.
Yeah, like 3 feet away from his face, and that thing's 100 and something degrees because he was trapped in the sun in between a desk and a wall. And he needed to throw himself at the orb to dislodge himself, but it took him too long, so he was baking there for a while.
Yeah, and he only didn't want to go home because of Matt, which
right, of course. Any other day, he would want to go home.
Because of who Ned is,
Yeah, he's the classic slacker.
Scoundrel.
Trickster. Yeah.
He is a trickster, isn't he? He's very cunning.
And Mose is able to give the speech because everyone else in the class went home because of... Or is in, I guess, just quarantined in the nurse's office because of the flu.
Yeah. And then also, I have written down, because Ned's last note is to not go near Cooke when he has the flu. So my question is Cookie patient 0 in this scenario? Did he get everyone else sick?
I don't think he got everyone else sick. I think the sickness is bigger than Cooke.
But why would they give that note?
It's an epidemic.
Why did they give that note?
Because Matt Hoffman takes Cookie on a ride, because Cookie's the only one that gets to meet Matt Hoffman.
Yeah, but it just seems so random. Like, don't go. I guess because it's like the punchline, because like because Matt Hoffman crashes.
Yeah,
so, like,
he sneezes and crashes the bike, and then we see the tire go. So that bike gets fucked. He gets fucked. Cookie gets really fucked.
I just want to believe that Cooke is patient 0. Like, he brought the sickness to the town.
Yeah, we have a nice secondary sequence where Matt Hoffman is riding around with Cooke, and then there's a Cookie dummy with flailing legs, and also the baby is involved.
Yeah. What did he call it? Like extreme parenting or whatever?
Is that what he said? I mean,
he said something like that. Something like that when he went to pick Cooke up. He's like, "You want me to teach you some extreme parenting or something like that?"
Yeah. So Ned says that, and then he like winces when the crash occurs, and that's the thing zooms in on him like a Looney Tunes cartoon, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's the end of that episode. It was solid.
Yeah.
What are you
rating it?
Okay, so you want me to go first? I think I will give it a I think I'm gonna go 6.5 out of 10 weasels. And I was relatively close to giving it a 7, but I went for 6.5. Yeah.
I was gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
So combined a 6.75 out of 10 weasels. Not bad.
Yeah, I think we gave. Let me see. I can scroll back here.
Oh, you writing down our ratings? That's actually very helpful.
Did I write? Oh fuck! I don't know if I wrote it down. Oh yeah, I gave it 6.8 to the last one.
You gave it a 6.8?
Actually, the same for the last half episode. No. Hold on. Sorry. For the dance episode, I gave it 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We didn't like that episode, right? Or
it was
a little bit weaker. It was a little bit weaker. Maybe I should have. I feel like I should have rated this one higher.
No regrets.
Whatever.
I almost gave this one a 7.5. I did.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. All right. So yeah. So Spelling Bee was the next mini-sode.
Right.
And it also introduces new characters, the Killa Bees.
Mm-hmm.
The Wu-Tang Killa Bees, if you will.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Which, do you think that it's related to Wu-Tang at all, or do you think this was parallel thought?
I mean, they don't rap or anything.
No.
They do spell. And they do get in people's grills.
They do get up in people's grills, and they're also in dope tracksuits. Now, I know, I don't think, at least not that I can picture, Wu-Tang was ever deeply into tracksuits.
I'm sure they were worn by a few members at different periods. For sure.
I can't picture it, but I'll believe
maybe
it.
Raekwon.
You think so?
I think him and RZA might have worn them at one point, but maybe I might be wrong.
Some dope matching tracksuits.
They were always into like workwear, like the Timberlands and like big fucking huge jackets.
Yeah.
Like oversized coats and stuff.
Every single person in Wu-Tang was wearing the Timberlands. You gotta wear Timbs.
Yeah.
They're from, East Coast, homie.
Yeah, I guess. That's the way.
But yeah, so they talk about in the beginning how Cookie freaking choked last year.
And last year was 6th grade.
Last year was 6th grade, so we were wrong in what we were saying before. We've been talking shit. I can't believe it. We never looked, though. So here's what we did. After the episode aired, this shook us so bad that I went over to the IMDb page and I went to season 2, and I see that it says on the first episode of season 2, new semester. So that means that season 2 is still 7th grade, and then I went to season 3, and that's the first episode of that season is new grade. So what we have here is a classic 7th, 8th scenario.
Who would have called that?
I couldn't have called it. So what I'm thinking is that this is more of your territory. What you were saying before, I think we mentioned it in the very first episodes, where up north it is 7th and 8th grade as middle school instead of 6th, 7th, 8th grade as middle school, right?
Right. And 6th grade is different because it's like, it was technically considered elementary school, but we did have different teachers for different subjects.
It was like
which is like a middle school thing. Like
a precursor. It was like a warm-up.
It was weird for sure because we had lockers. I don't think we had lockers before that. But why would we if it was the same teacher for every class?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You'd have like a cubby.
Right, yeah.
But I think that is the exact scenario that we have here. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting. So we apologize for the fake news that we had
Further
before.
Brings into question what state this takes place in.
I think it's in the Midwest. I think they're in like Kansas or Missouri. That's what I think.
That'd be interesting.
Thoughts?
Where was James K. Polk from?
I have no idea.
President Polk.
It seems like it has to be in Middle America. From the vibe I get, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense.
Like, it doesn't seem like East Coast gritty or West Coast fucking, stars,
Yeah. Polk was born in North Carolina, and he died in Nashville, Tennessee.
Damn, so it stayed East Coast. Maybe they are on the East Coast. I just don't see it.
Maybe they're in the deep South.
Fuck, no, it definitely doesn't seem like the deep South. They're in Birmingham, Alabama.
Now, Nashville's kind of metropolitan, though.
It definitely is, yeah.
Maybe they're in the Nashville area.
I've thought about moving to Nashville.
I want to visit there, for sure. Maybe visit there first before you move there cold.
You gotta move cold, come on.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That seems crazy.
That's the scenario that I might be in, so.
Yeah.
But who knows? But
anyway, so we find out Cookie, yeah, right, like you said, Cookie chokes.
Yes.
And the killer bees give him mad shit about that. He fucking faints.
Yep. He can't handle the Wu-Tang killer bees.
Mm-hmm. And so it's basically we cut the tryouts. We find out people are auditioning to be in the spelling bee. Everybody wants to be in the spelling bee, I guess. You'd think that Ned would be like, oh no, I don't want to be in the spelling bee. That's for lamos.
Yeah, it's really a weird scenario. So this isn't mandatory. They're volunteering.
It's definitely not mandatory. It never was mandatory.
Huh. This is weird then. Yeah, you wouldn't think Ned would be a guy to be in it. Like, why would he want to be in it at all? He doesn't give a fuck.
He's Mr. Average.
Yeah, he's supposed to connect with your average daily dude, right?
Yeah, like you and me.
Exactly. I wouldn't have fucking volunteered for a spelling bee.
Yeah, I guess I did one time, but only one time.
Right on.
And it was in elementary school, not middle school, I believe.
That's fair. You wanted to strive for greatness in elementary school.
Yeah. But everyone has a dictionary. This is back in the day.
That's true. I did used to have a dictionary and a thesaurus.
Ooh.
I don't think I ever opened the thesaurus.
You never wanted to find another word for a word that you already knew?
So that's what a thesaurus is? It's about finding synonyms?
It's about finding synonyms. That's it. It's a very specific type of book.
What a weird book. What a weird book.
You're like, I want to sound more worldly.
You don't find that these days. People don't own these things.
You just go to the least common denominator word and just use it?
Yeah, you just keep using, you just say a lot. You don't find
a plethora.
Any bigger words.
A multitude.
No SAT words. Yeah, so I have next written down that Cookie is curling dictionaries.
So there's some stuff that happens before that. But they lay out that the rules in place for the 7th grade, not the 6th grade, but specifically for the 7th grade spelling bee, the first person to misspell a word becomes the word reader.
Yes, true.
And they have to sit next to Mr. Gross?
Yeah, his name is Mr. Gross, and he is gross. He is disgusting.
Yes, he smells in many places, and he has a lot of hairs.
Yeah, he has moles. He's sweating profusely. He has dandruff all over his shoulders.
Right. His breath is bad.
He's really horrible. His teeth were brown.
Yes.
Also, I wrote down that this was actually before Left Kid did one too many, in quotes, chokes. Because they were taunting Cookie by just saying, choke. And then the kid on the left said it one too many times, and it didn't line up.
Yeah.
And they didn't reshoot it. They kept that shot. They were like, that take is fine.
Yeah, that was earlier. But it's correct. There's 3 of them. One of them's definitely Asian, and the other 2 I can't identify their ethnicity.
I'm not sure, but the girl is very short.
She's tiny. She looks like she's freaking in 4th grade.
She couldn't be more than 3.5 feet. She's the smallest person. She's so short, bro.
That's nuts.
Unless these dudes are just tall as fuck, but they seemed like average height.
Yeah, so the killer bees go around harassing everybody. They harass Susie Crabgrass. They harass Seth. They can you spell any words longer than Jock? Jock?
And he can't.
Yeah, no. And then they go and they talk about they harass Loomer. And they're like something about, they say something about Isle. ISLE AISLE ILLY ILL. That's
I apostrophe LL.
yeah, I apostrophe LL. Do you have to do? They don't do contractions in the spelling bee.
No
right?
way.
There's no way.
No.
There's no fucking way.
They don't do contractions. Because I feel like it's not really even. You wouldn't consider that a word. It's a combination of words, right? Like you couldn't use that in Scrabble. You can't use a contraction.
No.
Can you? Can you use contractions in Scrabble?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Good question. I actually have the official Scrabble dictionary.
Very nice.
I was given it as a Christmas gift.
Is it up to date? Is it modern?
I don't know what edition it is.
But I did just play Scrabble actually at a brewery last weekend. It was a good time.
So they had it at the brewery?
They did, yeah. I lost. Abby beat me by like 10 points.
Yeah, it usually goes back and forth.
It was very close.
Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
She had like a 40-something point word right in the beginning, and I was like, fuck, I'm not going to beat that.
That's nuts. That's luck of the draw.
It is luck of the draw. But yeah, so...
Basically, everybody comes at Cookie. They're like, you got to beat him, man. Everybody hates the killer bees.
Yeah.
You're our only hope, Cookie.
Yeah, they're like, you're the only one who can fucking stand up to these cunts.
You're a goddamn robot, son.
Which he doesn't ever use his robot skills during this episode at all.
Honorable.
Which I don't understand. Like, he's so choicey with when he uses his cyborg abilities. Like,
right?
Where does he draw the line? And where does he, like, come up with these different rule sets and when he's allowed to use it?
Yeah, I don't know. Because you'd think that he'd be using it all the time.
Yeah, because I don't think it comes down to ethics, because he does cheat during times using his cyborg abilities.
He's definitely not an ethical person. I feel like he's a very selfish, opportunistic person.
He is.
In his heart of hearts.
Also, we were talking about a little bit during the episode. He, what was I going to say? He like always is the person who either needs the tips or is like the person who is the example for the episode.
He's the example of what not to do all the time.
Like, what's up with that? Poor Cooke. It would have been great.
He's a goofball.
Trying to, like, being cast as that character, because you could just get to be insane all the time.
Yeah, but like, Daniel Curtis Lee had the time of his life.
I'm sure he did. Like, there's no way he had it. I don't know what he's done really afterwards, but, like, it seems like this would be, like, peak, you know?
I would think so. I mean, you know, you don't want to hope that he peaked when he was however old.
Well, no. I'm not trying to hate or anything. Like, I'm sure he's done really, really cool stuff, but like, I just feel like the character is a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm not trying to hate. I'm trying to get this dude on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Everybody, hit up Daniel Curtis Lee. Hit up Devin Works Harder, Devin Workheiser, and Lindsay Shaw.
Yes.
I don't remember what her handle is.
And the guy who plays Coconut Head. What's his name? Pinky something? DJ Pinky?
It's something.
Or something?
Pinkus?
Something like that. I don't know. But I'll take any of them, dude. Any of them could be on the pod. That'd be dope.
Oh, yeah. Gordy?
Not trying to burn any bridges. Well, Gordy ain't coming on. He's got an illustrious fucking voice acting career.
That's true.
Nickelodeon loves him. They use him over and over again.
# the real deal.
But yeah,
that brings us into the Coconut Head Rocky training montage, like you were saying.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, the Cooke workout montage where he is fucking doing these bizarre push-ups.
He's doing like half push-ups where he's on tables, he's on desks,
yes,
like school desks, and he's moving his legs out when he goes down and in when he goes up, and he's reading words out of the dictionary in front of him at the same time.
Yes, it's very weird. I don't know what he is trying to do with his legs.
I don't know. He also does distraction spelling, where he's spelling out the words and like people are like shouting at him and playing metal. The bullies, the guy with the curly long hair that's like the best knitter.
Yeah,
that dude. He's like headbanging and stuff, and Ned is like throwing shit at him. I think he throws a spitball at him.
Yeah, they're doing this whole scenario so Cooke will be able to be the champion in the end. I think then it just cuts right to the... them getting the numbers, right? It goes to them getting the numbers in the hallway?
That's right, yeah, because it's like... He said, what is it? The first person gets the easiest word, which is no fucking...
Well, they didn't say that until a little bit after. When they were in the beginning, they were saying they didn't want to get the first numbers, right?
Why would you?
They were saying
that's right. Yeah.
They were saying something like that because they didn't want to be the first to lose. So they're like, we don't want to have the first numbers.
Yet at the same time, the first letters, the first people to go get the easiest words.
Apparently, according to this show and according to Ned, which I've never heard that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why that would be the scenario.
That seems so unfair.
It seems like you'd just be fixing it to have the first person in line be the winner. But
think so. Yeah, color commentators Van, Earl Wright, and Willie Galt reappear. I think they were in the episode when Cookie's trying to get the class on time.
Yes, with the mop bucket scenario. They are on their jackets. They're listed as channel 6.5, which is weird.
Maybe that's the school channel.
How could you get a half channel? It's impossible. What the fuck?
It's like an AM station.
But yeah, so the first two numbers are Mose and Ned. Ned goes first, and then Mose is second.
What is Ned? Is Ned's first word corn?
No, that's later on. I forget what his first word is, but in the middle, his word is corn, yeah.
I know Ned's words are corn, toy, dog, cow, rat. He gets fucking 3-letter words mostly.
Yeah, he gets the easiest words on earth. And people who get hard words, in quotes, are like... They're like made-up words a lot of the time.
It seems like they're not real words. Also, Mr. Gross, we see, is eating an onion as a hand fruit.
Yes, like an apple.
Like the Grinch, or like George when he thinks it's an apple in that episode of Seinfeld.
It's exactly like the fucking Grinch, bro. Because he's disgusting.
Because he's enjoying
like the Grinch.
it. Yeah. He's like, this is delicious. Yeah. So he's eating the onion throughout.
Yes.
Mose is the first one to get the word spelled wrong, so she ends up being the word reader, actually. So she gets to sit next to Mr. Gross.
Yes, and she gets Gordy to attempt to clean Mr. Gross.
She's like, please help.
She's like, save me. And he does his line, I'll let the night guy get it.
She's like, no, bitch, you're going to help me.
Yeah, she's like, you actually have to do your job for once, Gordy.
Yeah, Gordy.
Stop trying to catch the weasel, Gordy.
So he ends up at different points. He like blasts him with a hose, I think. He hits him with a super soaker that he's rigged up to like feed Listerine directly into his mouth.
Yes. And it blasts him in the eyes a little bit.
That's gotta sting.
It's gotta fucking sting bad, dude. That shit's alcohol.
Yeah. Real powerful alcohol.
Also during this montage of people spelling and Ned getting all the words right, Lisa goes up and asks Mose if she can spell the word for her.
I don't remember what her word was.
She's like, can you repeat it? And Mose says it again. Then she's like, can you spell it? Which I think is a pretty good tactic.
It's like a fake word, too.
Yeah, it's a very fake word. A lot of the words
one of the words in the montage is waffle stomper.
Which is a classic. Yeah, but then eventually it shows a montage of people getting whittled down one by one, and Ned keeps getting the easy words, and in the end, it is Ned, Cooke, and one of the Killer Bees left, like the main Killer Bee.
Ned gets some crazy fake word, and he's like, he just turns around, he's like, of course I can't get this.
Yeah,
he's out.
And they buzz him out, they're like, he didn't even get to spell shit.
He didn't even try to spell shit, because he knew he couldn't.
He should have at least tried.
I mean, it was a fake word, man.
That's what he should have said. He should have said, this is a fake fucking word.
What does that mean? Yeah. Define it.
I would have said, define it, bitch. Fucking define it.
You got to use it in a sentence.
Because you can ask that. You can ask to define it.
You can ask to use it in a sentence all day long.
I've watched spelling bees on TV before.
Yeah, the national one.
Yeah, hell yeah. That thing's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan.
Yeah, so basically the last killer bee, he gets some word, he spells it wrong. Cooke is the last man standing. Now, I would think at this point, he wins, right?
Nope.
What happens if he gets it wrong? No one wins and the school just gets eliminated from the pool for people to like move forward?
I think if he gets it wrong, the other guy would get a chance to come back on stage and they would go into a sudden death type scenario.
I guess that's possible.
Because the other guy would only lose in this scenario because he went first. That's not fair. Cooke needs to be able to get the word right because they're in the same round right now. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And so throughout the episode, multiple times the killer bees have said, "We will be victorious." VICTORIOUS. They say it multiple times.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's Cooke's word.
Yes.
So Cookie's sweating. He's freaking out.
Bad.
He's like, I'm gonna choke. Ah! And
God.
And so Ned is like, oh man, he's gonna choke. I gotta help him out. And earlier he's like, just imagine everybody's in their underwear, because that's fucking useful advice. Nope. No fucking way. How is that gonna help you?
And Cooke was like, I tried it before and I pictured myself in my underwear. Dumb bastard. Yeah. So Ned ends up taking his pants off and
Ned
flashing his
himself.
boxes. He flashes
and
his,
all
his
the other
long-ass
male
boxers.
Yeah, all the other male classmates wearing long boxers as long as shorts should be.
The perfect
Pants
length.
themselves. Yes.
Right above the knee.
That's why you can't wear That's why you can't wear boxers that length.
I don't think they make boxers that length anymore.
Oh, they make them, dude.
I would never.
You got to go boxer briefs.
I'm a boxer brief man 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And I've never looked back.
Containment.
It's the ultimate underwear. You know?
Yeah. I would say so.
We're sponsored by Big Boxer Brief Industries.
Yeah.
So everybody pulls down their pants and they all have these long, ridiculous looking boxers on.
None of the girls though do it.
No, none of the chicks pull down their pants. Actually, you could see Susie Crabgrass in the audience looking disturbed by this scenario.
Well, that's fair.
Yes. So Cooke gets over his stage fright and he's able to spell the word. Cooke wins.
Victorious.
R.I.P. Killer Bees.
Yeah, man. He defeated him.
He did take him down, which is good because their reign of terror is now over.
Yeah, but he doesn't move on to anything. He doesn't move on to like the district or county level, as far as I know.
Of course not.
This is just an internal poke middle school freaking spelling bee.
It's purely internal. It's purely for the joy of spelling. Nothing comes with it. No honors.
Right.
So what do you rate this episode out of 10 weasels?
I'm going to go against my advice. I am going to actually alter my score for part A. I'm going to give it a 7.5. That was a good one. Yeah. Nice. And I'm going to give this one I'm going to give this one a 7.
See, I think I'm going to give this one a 7 as well, but I'm going to leave my score as a 6.5.
That's fair.
On the other one.
Yeah.
Even though it probably deserves also a 7. I pretty much liked them the same. You know what? No, I'm going to go 7 on both. I'm going a clean 7. We're both altering our scores from the OG episode.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going clean 7s all around.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for this episode.
Yeah, I would say that's all I have as well. Was there anything like housekeeping or anything that you needed to address?
No, the only thing is make sure you guys go follow at @Harbor_Boys on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes and rate us 5 stars. We are on iTunes if you want to listen to us on mobile. Both this show and Drake and Josh are in the same feed. It's now in the Harbor Boys feed. So you guys can listen to us there.
Less work for you. You only have to subscribe to one feed.
One thing, and you get all the joys of our various Nickelodeon old school podcasts.
Yeah. And I guess you can check out Kirk Yates. I have some music on Spotify. Everybody has Spotify, right? So.
Yes, yeah. Some great music on there, and you said you're about to put out a second album on there, right?
Yeah, it's very different from the stuff that's on there now, so maybe there'll be something for everybody. Right now there's some electronic stuff on there, but I did get, and this is something that I've been dealing with today, a noise complaint reported directly to the office on me. Yeah.
Really? About what?
My next door neighbor.
What about the guitars or something?
Yeah, I could call them. I mean, the words that have come out of my mouth, obscene. All right, I'm not. You know, I'm a good cursor. I don't have to prove myself here. Yeah. So that was fucked.
Interesting. Wait. So things that you were saying, not the music?
No. It was the music. It was the guitar playing. Too loud.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have your headphones on when you're playing?
Not usually. I mean, I'm gonna have to figure something out to do different because apparently it's a problem. But yeah.
Huh. Interesting. That's crazy. I feel like at my apartment, I never hear anyone. I never hear any neighbors.
Well, most people don't play music like that.
True. Yeah, I guess. You got to throw those headphones on, man. Throw the cans on.
I know, but you know, I'll figure something out.
But yeah, guys, thank you for listening to the Ned's Declassified podcast. That's pretty much all we got for today. I've been Jacob.
I've been Kirk.
And go watch some Ned's Declassified.